Hey, love, my name is Brittany Pollard, and you are now rocking with the Everyday Intentions podcast, your source for real conversation centered around stepping into your personal power, one intention at a time. This podcast is all about owning our voice, taking up space, expressing ourselves, and moving through life at our own pace. You are invited to the magic, so let's roll. What is up, my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Intentions podcast. I am your host of the show, Brittany Pollard, and here at Everyday Intentions, we talk all about owning your power, claiming your space, owning your voice, and creating transformation through small, daily, intentional actions and practices. Y'all, I have been on a small break, and that's just because there's been a lot going on. This break, I'll be honest and say it wasn't intentional. My mood has I've just been in a mood, and I've actually recorded this episode several times, and each time I recorded it, I'm like, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. So I'm committed to getting this out there, and I feel like this one is going to be the one that just is a culmination of everything that I want to say. And I just really couldn't find the words. I think that's what it was, is I was like struggling with getting a message out because I've just been in a mood and I wasn't really relaying the message that I wanted to. So I've just been able to just settle in more. I've found what I want to say, and I feel like it's going to come out the best. It's going to come out the way it was supposed to. So I am back, y'all. Thank you for just tuning in and for sticking with me. And I hope that you are just continually going after the things that you want and you're keeping up the 2020 consistency. And I've just been doing a lot and I'm excited to talk about it. I really, truly am. So first of all, I got to tell y'all about Dare to Dream, which was the practical manifestation workshop that I hosted a couple weeks ago on January 25th. Oh my goodness, it was everything. It was everything. Before this workshop happened, I prayed on it. I prayed on the people who came. I didn't tell the people who were there, and they won't know this until they actually listen to this episode, but I actually burned a candle and spoke everyone's name into the candle, and it was a success candle too. And I was just really in tune with the atmosphere of what I wanted to create. And I was just feeling those nervousness and those jitters before the workshop. And I was just like trying to prepare. You know how you over prepare for stuff as if like you don't know your stuff? That's how I was acting. And then I just got to this place of, you're not trying to be anything different. You're not trying to, because I don't like the pedestal approach. So I really had to talk to myself and just be like, you are here merely sharing the information that you learned so that it can help the next person on their journey. So I had to coach myself like on some real shit. And I'm glad that I was able to do that and even just seek the wisdom of people around me and just connect with them and just, have those blessings and affirmations put on me so I could take that energy and bless other people. And it just worked out amazing. It worked out amazing. I learned so much as a workshop host and a sound meditation facilitator of things to just do next time. And that's what it is. You come and you do your thing and you learn and you do it all over again, even better. And you just keep learning. So I really want to tell y'all about the workshop. It was just beautiful. It was inspirational, and it was just amazing to be amongst a group of women, and a group of women who weren't just dedicated to their healing, but they also wanted to just like take that chance on themselves. They wanted to go for it. They wanted to spark something. They wanted to drop something that's just been lying dormant in them for so long and just put it out into the world or speak it out and be in a group of people who are willing to do that. So that was very healing in itself. So we did a lot. We did some journaling. We did a meditation on connecting to our future selves. And that one was really beautiful because I had everyone really connect to the people that they're going to serve and really visualize what it is like looking at those people in their faces and just seeing the change and transformation that they're sparking in those people. And that was really important to take everyone through that process, because sometimes when we are trying to create, or when we're trying to do something new, or when we're trying to follow a dream, it feels so scary, and we can get so like we can make it about ourselves, and we forget about the reason why we're doing it. We forget about the people that we're going to serve. So I really wanted them to connect to those faces, um, so that they could just get laser focused on their why, like why the things that they want to do are important to them. And I think that's a big thing that I keep at the forefront of what I do, is like, who is this going to help? You know, it's not about me. I've been saying that since this podcast, I have said it is about me since day one, just about me in the sense of growing and healing and using my voice. But I want to be able to do that so that I can start to help other people find their voices too. So it is coming full circle, but we do have to learn how to get out of our own way. So we did the meditation, we did the journaling, we had community conversation. I facilitated a sound healing meditation for everyone. And then at the end, everyone made their own DIY smudge sticks. And I wanted them to be able to take away something from the workshop so that they could connect to the energy of it throughout the year. So for those of you who don't know, a smudge stick is really just dried herbs in a bundle. So pretty much everyone knows about like sage sticks, and um, a lot of people burn sage, and I had the idea of people to do DIY smudge sticks because I wanted them to learn about different flowers and different herbs of the earth that also provide spiritual protection and healing and bring you good fortune, and just learning about something different so we can start to gravitate toward that stuff that's also around us, and also protect our sage, so it's not endangered. And it's just a beautiful way of learning about Mother Earth and honoring her, and just using the gifts that she has supplied for us. So that was amazing. And ever since then, like I can't tell y'all how many stories I've heard from people about just like them just being propelled into moving into what they want, like fully stepping in. And people have been reaching out with the most beautiful shares. And, they're saying how the workshop allowed them to get a sense of clarity. And now people know what they want to do. People are collaborating to help each other create. They're helping each other take that step forward, by using their professions and their skills. And just, they're just co-creating together. It's just like, it's just so wonderful. And there's people taking classes, there's people being invited on panels, and there's people who are planning on hosting their own events. And last night, I even got a DM from a woman who just launched her website, and it's just, like, I can't even put it into words how beautiful it is, at the fact that we are like really out here moving and doing the do. We are doing the things, and it's just such an honor to bear witness to watching these women just thrive, and just watching things come into their lives. Like, I was on the phone with one of the women, one of my dear friends, and she wants to become a doula, and she's like trying to figure out the process. And she told me that she was on her way to an event, and she found out that the people who are hosting the event are actually going to be doing free doula trainings for Black women. So now she gets to learn that shit for free, and she's also learning about Black infant health. And this was the first, her as far as her wanting to be a doula, that was the first time I heard her say that at the workshop. And so for that opportunity to just like kind of fall in her lap, she's like, Brittany, I can't tell you how amazing this was. And I just firmly believe in, when we say the thing that we want, when we truly affirm it, when we move in the direction of it, regardless of how big or small of a step we take, like, the universe is going to show up for us. It's going to show up. So, oh my goodness, I can go on and on, but I'm not going to do that. But I can truly say, I was saying this since day one, that the Dare to Dream workshops are definitely a portal to really getting you to where you want to go, to really aligning with the energy of the universe. And it's happened. So I truly believe in what these workshops provide, and I have some great news that I am being pushed to share by my guides and ancestors and ascended masters and teachers. And the next Dare to Dream is going to be on April 25th, and that one is also going to be in downtown LA. And I'm excited for this one because it's going to align with the new moon in Taurus. So every Dare to Dream that I'll be hosting is going to be aligning with the new moon, because the goal is to set new intentions and plant those seeds of, what you're going to grow. So they're all be in new moons, and this one in April is in the sign of Taurus. So with this one, we're going to be talking about confidence. We're going to be talking about leadership. We're going to be talking about moving from a place of spirit inspired ambition, spirit inspired action. I just absolutely love the phrase of spirit inspired ambition. That came in a tarot card. So y'all should know me by now. Like, I'm really into reading and getting these messages. But I just love that phrase so much, because when we move from that space, it just gives us that extra to do the things that we want to create. And, it's not like we're doing it out of a need for approval from the world. We're doing it because it's what our souls, what our spirits, what our guides are calling us to do. It's the stuff that's being planted in our hearts and in our minds. And it's the stuff that, because we're not doing it, we feel hella out of alignment with our lives, and we feel off and we feel guilty, because we know that there's this whole other life we want to live, and we're not allowing it to breathe. We're not giving it life. So yes, April 25th is going to be the next Dare to Dream. I'm going to keep it small and intimate again, so there are just a limited amount of tickets for sale. If you are interested in coming to that workshop, please, please, please show up. With these workshops, I always pray that the right people come and we have the right community together to get exactly what they need from this specific workshop. So if you feel called to come, please come. I would be so honored and so grateful and excited to see you, because that means like your guides are like, hey, you need to come to this. We're going to push you to go. So yeah, come through. We'll be amongst community. We'll be talking about practical manifestation again. We'll be doing more goal setting, and then we'll also be doing a sound healing meditation and just having some open conversation time. And I said this earlier, but I believe this is a powerful workshop, and I really, really believe that it's going to do amazing things for people, like amazing things. So if you feel so called to even check it out, you can go to my website at brittanypollard.com/dare to dream, or you can click the link in the show notes. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Okay. So let me go back to where I was originally going. Just being in the energy of that workshop, just feeling so amazing. So that workshop happened on January 25th, and I was just on this incredible high, just giving thanks to all those above, and I was just like really, really floating tall. And Sunday morning, I actually woke up, got dressed, and I went to a women's empowerment event, because I wanted to support a friend, and I wanted to, just stay in the energy of creation and empowerment, and just that buzzing energy, right? And so I was feeling that, and then I felt like the entire world's heart just broke. And like, it was really interesting that day, because when I woke up that Sunday, it was unusually foggy. And it was like, I don't know, most people were saying this too. Like, it was more foggy than I've ever seen before in LA. And I thought that was so weird, because the Saturday before was perfect. It was a perfect, beautiful, sunny LA day. Like, we even got a little hot in the workshop space, and I had to open up some windows to let the breeze in. And so then Sunday morning, I just looked out the window like, what the hell is this? Like, what's going on? And, I had to change my whole outfit and everything to just accommodate the cold fogginess, because the event I was going to was also near the beach. So I knew that it was going to be even more cold. So yeah, I got dressed. I went to the event, and even inside of the tent, there weren't a lot of people. And so I just assumed, it was a Sunday. It was cold. People were probably like heading home. I really didn't think much of it at all. So I was sitting at the conference, and then I picked up my phone to send a message to a friend. And without her replying to the message that I had just sent her, she just responded and was like, "Did you hear about Kobe?" And usually when people respond like that, it only means one thing, right? But my mind, it wasn't letting me really go there because I was just in this great space. I was on this high. And of course, I had to know. And the best way to find out is to go on TMZ, which is like a celebrity tabloid news outlet out here, and their information is already always like accurate. And so when I went to TMZ, the first thing I saw on the website, and it just said Kobe Bryant dead. Y'all, my heart stopped because I know that TMZ ain't with the bullshit. Like, they really report the real stuff. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, I was speechless. I couldn't believe it. I like didn't know what to say. And I just sat there kind of stunned. And so the event was going on, but I was like kind of checked out at that point. I wasn't really interested in what was happening. So I decided to leave. And that was about 2 hours. I think I stayed. And then I dipped out and I checked the news again. And then I saw the news about his daughter, the news about the other people in the helicopter. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, it was just so devastating and so heartbreaking. And, I'm not going to sit up here in front and be like, oh, I was a huge Kobe fan. I was a huge Laker fan, because I wasn't. But it was just the magnitude of the event that happened and the fact that it was all over the news outlets. And I was just thinking about all of the family members whose lives are permanently altered from that moment, and for it also to be public. And I was just like, my mind was just all over the place, because I get really into feeling for other people, and I was feeling for the mother who lost her husband, and like she lost one of her babies, like one of her daughters. Like, that gives me chills even saying that. And even for the children who lost their parents and they had to remain in this world without their parents. And it was just really heavy. And I cried. I know a lot of other folks cried. They cried, they cried, they cried. And I know grown ass men who cried because they looked up to Kobe as their big brother. He inspired them in so many ways. And I'm not trying to just spotlight Kobe, but he was the most publicly known. He was to all the, like the men in my generation and the generation before. He was their leader, their champion, a father figure, an author, and a force, and an icon. And he was really just one of a kind. And it just sparked this realization of life is so precious and it's so short. And it's like, you can have all the money, the health, the fame, the talent, the endorsements, the family. You can have it all. You can have it all, but no one makes it out of here alive. Everyone has their day, when it's time to transition, and none of us know when that day is coming. And you look at someone like Kobe and you're like, this wasn't supposed to happen to him. And this wasn't supposed to happen to those kids. And, it just feels all kinds of jacked up. And it hit my heart like it hit so many other people's heart. And, for a while, it just kind of left us in this open space. It left me in this open space. And, I didn't want to record. I didn't want to write. I didn't want to do anything. I actually had a podcast interview where I was supposed to be on another woman's podcast later on that day. And we got on the call and we were like, nah, we're not about to do this. We're just going to go ahead and reschedule because the energy was just off from this tragic accident. And so I decided to just really go love up on my baby and, go love up on my family. And that's really where I've been. And so, with that happening, it was just kind of like waves. Like Dare to Dream happened. I was on this high, and then hearing about, the tragic accident that took all those lives and was so public and, in everyone's face and just so hurtful, that, shifted the energy down. And then right after that, my birthday passed. So, that was a happy and joyous moment. And my son's birthday also was a happy and joyous moment. So, we spent a lot of time together. We had a wonderful time enjoying our external family. We took a trip and hung out together. And then we had a birthday party. And it was lovely. And like the whole time, I kept taking moments to really just stop and appreciate who was around me. And I just really stopped to really appreciate life itself. And I think so often we miss what is right in front of us, especially when we're focused on the future. Like I'm that person who lives, breathes, and thinks in the future. Like that is me. But after that wake up call, it was kind of like, hold on, B, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, let's take a look and see what truly matters. Like, filter your lens to what truly matters to you. And for me, it was family, it was health, it was well-being, it was creating a business that is really going to serve people into stepping into their health and well-being. And the list of demands and needs became so small and crystal clear in that moment, where I was just like able to see clearly what mattered most to me. And I really took time to really appreciate it all and be thankful for it all. And, just took that time to be in pure gratitude for everything. And it just felt so good. And I think that there's just magic into tuning into what and who's in your world, just putting a pause on it and just really clearly seeing, like putting the phone away, putting all the to-do lists away, putting the achievements away, just putting it all away and just really being there and just being like, wow, look at all of these people who love me. Or, wow, I really appreciate myself for doing this. Or look at all the things, just really slowing it down and getting super simple. You might have a pet that you love and adore and that also loves and adores you. You might have the freedom to walk around whenever you want to out in the sun, enjoying yourself. There's just so many little things that we take for granted, especially when it comes to our health. For those of us who are able-bodied people who are able to just function and do whatever it is that we want, like there's so many privileges that we have that can be easy to overlook because we're paying attention to the external world and it telling us like all the things that we need to do. And it's just like when we reel it back, all I really want to say is just reel it back and just know that everything in life has its opposites. It's called the law of polarity, where on a scale, happiness and sadness, they're both emotions, but they exist on different sides of the spectrum. Everything has its opposite. So we go from feeling high to feeling low. We go to feeling close to something to feeling distant. We go from happy and sad. We go from in love to, feeling out of love or feeling broken. And we just have to go through both in order to learn. And I think the goal in life, to me, like this is to me a big goal in life, is just learning how to dance between both opposing feelings or both opposing thoughts with some grace and presence and gratitude, and then just being intentional about what you want to choose. Because sometimes we don't even choose those lower vibration feelings. Sometimes that's just like all we know. So if we can learn that there is an opposite end of the spectrum and we can be intentional about getting to that side, then that gives us some work that we can do. And it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be joyful, but it will always be worth it. I can tell you that. In this one and only life we have, like this is our time. This is our only chance to really do the work, to experience the joy, to really do the things that we want to do, to really create, and then also just to really be in a space of deep gratitude and appreciation. So for this podcast episode today, the big lesson, the big intention that I want to invite you to follow is to really just shower yourself with some appreciation and self-love this weekend. Because you are the center of your life, and if you don't take the time to actually nurture yourself, you're missing a big opportunity to connect to your own greatness. And I don't mean self-love in the way that a lot of people share it as far as like, no, fuck it. Like if you want to ball out on yourself, if you want to take care of yourself because that is what truly nurtures you, then do it. Then do it. Take some time to really appreciate yourself for who you are. Appreciate where you've come from, all the things that you've overcome. Look at your journey and give yourself some props for how you made it, especially when you thought there was no way. Look in the mirror and just appreciate the fact that you are alive and that you are here. And a practice that I like to do is really just putting my hand on my heart just to feel how it beats. Or sometimes you might breathe and just feel how your lungs expand and contract. And just, these little processes that happen automatically without us even trying, they just happen. It's like our bodies literally try so hard to take care of us, and they do our best to take care of us. So, by showing self-love, just really slow down and tune into your body and just say thank you. Our bodies they're real. I like to say that these vessels are a culmination of all of those who came before us, and they are the seeds for those who will come after us. They're the culmination of all of those who came before us. So we are unique. We are special. So spend some time hyping yourself up for who you are this weekend. Like brag on yourself. Really, really act like your stuff don't stink. Really, really see yourself for how special you are. And if you do feel like doing something for yourself, you can ball out if you want to. Hey, if you got it, go ahead now. But what I would recommend is doing things that really spark joy in your heart. And for some people, it's spending time in nature. For others, it might be drawing or painting or sculpting or dancing, like skating. I be seeing people go to the skating rink and I be like, damn, I want to do that. But I know for sure I will fall. Probably still going to do it. Probably still going to bust my ass, but I'm always down for a good time. So if it's skating or maybe it's acting or singing, whatever brings you joy. And while you're doing it, just appreciate yourself so fully so that you can really connect to this energy. Like you're really creating your own framework of what self-love can feel like in your body. And remember, self-love is a duality, right? Because sometimes it's not going to feel good. But overall, self-love to me is a process of nurturing. And it's about really seeing yourself wholly and fully and accepting all parts of yourself, even the parts that no one claps for. But I believe that by shining a light on this stuff, at least you know what you get to work on and shift. And when you create this feeling of deep gratitude and appreciation and joy, that is like your bank of knowledge, your resource to call on when things start to feel tough. So you're, like I said, you're creating your own framework about what this energy feels like in your system so that you can hold on to that and you know that you can access that at any time that you need. And just walk with that. And just know that you are in charge of your experience in this lifetime. And even with all the bullshit the world throws at us, all the barriers, the injustices, especially for people of color, especially for Black people, the things that we sometimes have to face, we still get to also access and experience and feel joy in our bodies. And I think that knowing what that pure joy feels like is just so healing. And it really makes you want to find different ways to continue to access it and work with it and integrate it into your system. So just know it's work, but hey, the best place to start is from a place of appreciation, gratitude, deep joy, really taking care of yourself, really expressing yourself, expressing some self-love, because Valentine's Day is also coming up, which is not a big one that we celebrate around here. So I don't really get too hyped up about it, but I just want everyone to know that you connect to your own self-love first before anyone else. And you got to take care of yourself because you only have so many breaths to use while you're here. And even though it's going to be work, it's not always going to be sunshine and roses. But the big thing I want you to know, or want you to work toward, or invite you to work toward, is just filling those breaths with as many gratitude and loving breaths as you possibly can. And really start to move in a way where you make your life your legacy. So that is it for today's episode. Go show yourself some mad love out there. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Everyday Intentions podcast. Until next time, take care.